I'm going to be sharing 12 amazing stash busting projects to cast on to make the most out of your stash. Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be going over 12 amazing knitting patterns that are great for stash busting. What is stash busting? If you do not know, we are trying to use up yarns that we currently have in our stash. It's about using up those leftovers and mini skeins to really use up all of your yarn. So these patterns are all available in Ravelry and I will link them all down below this video. If you have any that you really want to try or haven't heard of, or you have some suggestions of your own, please put them below. We definitely want to keep that conversation going and getting the most out of our stash. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Julianne Knitter, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss out because we upload brand new video every single Thursday and Saturday. All right, without further ado, let's go over some of the patterns. Pattern number 1. This one is called Scrappy Stiber. By the way, looking at my computer screen if you see me looking on the side. So this one is by Pia Trans and it is using up all minis and scraps for a tee and pullover. It's really pretty and knit out of sport weight yarn. It is size inclusive, has beautiful, beautiful different examples of how you can knit it up. I really think it's just a fun and classic scrappy pullover. Really love that. That is a paid for pattern on Ravelry and retails for about $7.74 Canadian. You all know I couldn't go with a stash busting video without including the Candy Mountain cowl. This is a cowl that I came out with 2 years ago and is the perfect stash busting project. It's using mini skeins, about 24 of them, with a main color. So you can grab a full skein of yarn from your stash, as well as tons of incredible mini skeins. You can do a rainbow, you can go with a gradient, anything in this cowl will look beautiful. I've designed this for fingering weight as well with DK weight in mind, so depending on what you have in your stash, you can use this up for the cowl. In DK, sometimes we don't have that much in our stash. Did you know that you can knit double-stranded fingering weight yarn to get a DK weight approximate gauge? If you're not familiar with this fun technique of knitting double-stranded, I will put a link down below to one of my videos that I go through how to hold yarn double-stranded and all the details that you need to know. This is a fun paid-for pattern on Ravelry and is great for beginner colorwork knitters. If you're wanting to try colorwork for the first time, this is a go-to project. Plus, anything from the Candy Mountain range is amazing for stash busting. We have the Candy Mountain cowl, hat, mittens, blanket, socks, double-stranded socks. Friends, the list goes on. Next up, we have the Voyage from Wool and Pine. This is one that I think they just released in December 2023, and it is a advent pattern, which is great for stash busting because typically you'll use anywhere between 12 to 24 mini skeins. You only need a little bit and get to make a beautiful cardigan. This one is knit out of fingering weight yarn and has tons of beautiful sizes. It's very size inclusive as well, and you can really make it your own. This is a full colorwork pullover with stockinette sleeves, so it kind of gives you a little bit of break on your sleeves and you're able to use up a little bit of a main color. But I love how it turned out. I love the colors. It is beautiful. And this is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Next up is called the Scrap Wrap, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I love being able to include some free patterns for you all in these videos that I recommend patterns. This one is by Jacqui Verbeek, and it is knit using fingering weight yarn and using up all scraps and minis. It looks absolutely beautiful. Fisherman's rib looks like brioche, but it isn't, so it gives that brioche effect without actually having to knit on brioche. It is beautiful and seems as though there is a main color in between. So another great pattern to use up a single skein of yarn from your stash, along with some fun mini skeins. And again, it is free. Next one is called Bye Birdie Cardi by Ines Garcia, and it is a paid for pattern in Ravelry. Retails for about $12.88 Canadian. This one is a beautiful faded cardigan and would be great in any leftovers and minis. Sometimes we also have like those 50-gram skeins. I think that this would be a great project in creating a beautiful custom fade or gradient of your own. The pattern comes in 10 sizes and is knit in fingering weight yarn. Really beautiful. Another one of my patterns is this Tis the Season wrap. This one is knit in fingering weight and has 2 different sizes. It is also for 12 to 24 mini skeins with a full skein of yarn. Another great pattern to use up a single skein of fingering weight yarn from your stash along with some fun mini skeins. This is a beautiful wrap that is so easy to knit. Just keeps on going. It is a beautiful and fun wrap for you to knit. This is a paid for pattern and retails for $8 Canadian. Next one is called the Sea Glass Tee. Anything as well from the Sea Glass collection is a great stash buster. I want to say that they have the tee, the hat, the pullover, all of that. It would be amazing. It's using up only scraps and mini skeins. Again, perfect stash busting project. This one is knit in fingering weight yarn and is very size inclusive, and it is a paid for pattern in Ravelry. It retails for $12.34 Canadian. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the people that are making them, the different color palettes. It's just the next pattern is called the Stripe Hype Sweater from Veronika Lindberg. I test knit this amazing pullover for Veronika last year and I loved knitting it. I also used 100% stash for this project. This used less than a full skein of yarn per color, so these are great for your leftover skeins, or you can do each stripe a different color. I think that no matter how you would knit this up, it would be beautiful. I loved knitting it, plus it was knit in DK weight. I used fingering weight yarn held double for my contrast colors for my version and only use stash. I think it'd be a beautiful project using up different colors for your scraps. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry and is about $10.46 Canadian. Comes in an array of sizes and it is really a joy to knit. And I can say that because I've knit it. The next pattern that I have for you all is my leftover socks. This is a fun double-stranded sock pattern that is meant for leftovers. In the pattern, you even have a fun coloring sheet where you can plan out your sock. You can decide where you want a different cuff or heel or toe and color your own with your stash. This is great for those 50-gram to 25, 30-gram balls of yarn. Use these up, knit double-stranded, and make a unique pair of socks using your stash. This is a paid-for pattern in Ravelry and retails for $7 Canadian. Comes in an array of sizes from, and is also graded, I keep forgetting. It's also graded from worsted, double-stranded, DK, and fingering weight yarn. So all of those sizes are available in this one pattern. Has different array of sizes, adult, small, medium, and large, and graded through all of those yarn weights. So depending on what type of stash you have, you can definitely make a fun pair of socks with it. 2 patterns left. The next one is the Jelly Roll Blanket by K.F. Jones. This one I've seen quite a bit all over the place, and it is a beautiful, fun, scrappy blanket. It uses up fingering weight yarn, and it's just a really fun blanket to have on the go. This could be something where you are just knitting as you finish a project, add in a section, concept as those cozy memory blankets, but those weren't ones that I wanted to include because they are always included everywhere. I wanted maybe to provide different types of patterns that you may not have seen for some fun stash busting projects. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry and it retails for about $8.45 Canadian. What I have for you all is Stripes from Andrea Mowry. This is a super cute sport weight pullover that you can really make your own. You can add as many or as little colors as you want. You can add a main color in between. The possibility are endless with this fun pullover. It is size inclusive and it is a paid for pattern in Ravelry and retails for $12.70 Canadian a pattern. Mistaken. I have one last pattern for you all. This is my Scrappy Socks. If you are just wanting to knit up a fun pair of Scrappy Socks and are not really sure on how to calculate how many rounds for how many grams you have, definitely snag my Scrappy Sock pattern. It comes both cuff down and toe up and has different sizes, so small, medium, and large. In this fun pattern, everything is calculated for you, so I take the guessing work out of calculating how much grams you need per stripe. So definitely snag this pattern if you are wanting to make some fun scrappy socks for yourself or someone else. I'm curious to know, are some of these patterns one that you want to cast on? Is 2024 the year of you using up your stash? Definitely come and join the Twin Stitchers membership community because we are having a year-long knit-along using up our stash. Every single month in our community, we have a fun theme where it's going to push you to try and use up your stash yarn. So definitely come and join. Our signups are open every single beginning of the month from the 1st to the 3rd, so you don't want to miss out on joining in and having a community of makers really getting together and trying to use up their stash for 2024. Thank you, friends. I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye, friends.